Oh, I love it. I love it. In the mobile office. I think a lot of us in our mobile offices. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Everybody's in motion today. That's a good sign. All right, let me, good morning. Let me, let's see, put us in record mode. Let me, all right, folks. Today is a magnificent day for getting things done. And one of the reasons that I think we're all excited today is because all of us are in motion to get things done. And the topic for today, I think we may have a little extra time to hear from you. And as we are sharing the topic today, I'd like you to think about a couple of things. You know, somebody on this line has a serious challenge. It's interesting. I felt it earlier. I was thinking about it. And at some point, I think that somebody's going to share that challenge, whatever it is, with us. And collectively, I think we may be able to bring some type of resolution to it. Our topic for today is close out strong. And you know, we in our industry, in the network marketing industry especially, at the end of every month, we are confronted with a choice. That choice is, basically, and the question is, do I close out strong? Do I give it everything I have? You know, do I do the maximum? Do I operate flat out? Or do I do the minimum? You know, do I coast on through, you know, whatever my, you know, sometimes people even make a decision to lose. You know, in our industry, there's always some type of qualification, you know, that, you know, some minimum that you have to do. And so sometimes people make a decision to lose. It may be an active decision or a passive decision, but it's like, well, you know, I'll just wait till next month. And whenever you do that, it costs. Sometimes we've done the minimum and we decide that what we're going to do is just hold fast and wait until next month. We're going to get started next month, and next month is going to be incredible. But you know, folks, everything has a cycle. Like there's a day and night cycle. There's a growth cycle for when you plant an ear of corn. There's a cycle for it to grow. And so anytime that you decide to, let's just call it what it is, to close out weak. Anytime that you decide to postpone your activities right now and commit yourself, promise yourself that at next week or next month or 3 days down the line or whatever, I'm going to get busy and I'm going to get it done. It's another form of procrastination. And if there's one thing that takes us out of the flow, it's something like that. Because think about it. It doesn't sound like you're saying, I want to close out weak. Okay. It sounds like you're saying, hey, I'm planning, I'm preparing, I'm getting ready. You know, I'm getting ready for next month, and man, next month I'm going to be flat out dangerous. Well, the trouble is this, that whenever you put off immediate activity, you take yourself out of the flow. In other words, really life and success is about a flow. It's about a vibration. It's about harmony. And so anytime you choose not to act, and for whatever good reasons, anytime you choose not to act and to sort of say, well, I'm going to wait until next month, I'm going to prepare myself, I'm going to gather up all my chickens, I'm going to neaten up my desk, I'm going to get my files organized. Whenever you choose to hold back yourself and hold back your activity, you take yourself out of the flow. And let's look at this really critically. When you take yourself out of the flow, what are you really saying? You're really saying that nothing good is going to happen between now and the end of the month. That you're not going to meet that person that is going to make all the difference in your business. That the good things that you're seeking are not going to come between now and the end of the month. And why? Because you're not home. It's almost as though you take your phone off the hook after you've sent out posters and postcards and messages and saying, call me. And then you take your phone off the hook. You say, oh, you know what? Nobody's going to call. Let me get my rest so that next month I'll be ready to roll. And so what we have to do is that kind of activity creates a habit. And what you find is that if you put off this month, the amazing thing is that next month you get the same situation. 3 days, 4 days, a week before the end of the month, you are standing there and you're making a decision whether to go for it, and you choose to postpone your success. And that's exactly what we do when we don't close out strong. You know, we have to believe that our good is always waiting for us. Our good is always in front of us. Our good is just waiting for us to arrive. That when we make that one more call, that's going to be the one. That when we make that one more appointment, that's going to be the one. When we add some names to our list, that's going to be the one. And so, and it's not just in network marketing, folks, in life. When you look at your life and look at the progression of the things that happen in your life, so often you'll find that you got to a point where you could have gone one more round. You know, I know when you're in the job hunting market, some people say, well, I can't find a job. So, well, how many resumes did you send out? 6. Another person says, I got a job. How many resumes did you send out? 60. And so when we don't close out strong, when we put off today what should have been done next week, we take ourselves out of the flow, but also we demonstrate a lack of faith, a lack of belief in ourselves, in our program. You know, when dealing with our families, the very same thing happens. You know, that there's always a right time to do a right thing and to do it completely. And so tomorrow is a promissory note. You know, tomorrow is even a blank check. You don't even know if you're going to fill it in with your name. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Yesterday is a canceled check. Today is the only time that you can act on your goals. So when you quit, you disconnect from the flow. You disconnect from all that you're doing. You know, when we work real hard, you know, it is said that after sacrifice comes blessing. Seeking you shall find, knocking it shall be open, asking it shall be answered, but it never says how long. And really the guideline is, how long do you want it to take? How committed you are. You know, many times we win by refusing to lose. We win by refusing to quit. It's not the greater athlete. You know, looking at the Olympics, you can see people who wanted it so bad that they refused to fall. Okay. They refused to get tired. In other words, they ran it flat out, wide open. And so when we back up, we demonstrate that weakness, that lack of belief in ourselves, that lack of belief in our system, that lack of belief in our company, that lack of belief in our dream, in that we think is coming to us, and that we say we're seeking. When we quit, we eliminate that possibility for confirmation. You know, every small victory increases your faith. Every small victory, you know, makes you believe and makes you know that you can do it. You know, how do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. How do you build a dream? Day by day. How do you build a day? Moment by moment. And so every moment that you put yourself in the flow, you set yourself up to receive the blessings, the rewards, the success. We often say that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so when you postpone activity, you're demonstrating a lack of faith. You know? There is only the now. There's always a proper time to neaten your desk and to organize your files, but not in the middle of the battle. You know, as we begin to manage our time, we have to select the times to do the main thing and the time to do other things. You know, if the main thing is making a call, then making a list in the middle of the day is not that effective. Make the call in the day, make the list at night. Who can you call at 1 a.m.? Not too many people. So when you stop, it means that your passion for completion is not there. I'm faced with it a lot, and I'm sure that each and every one of you on the phone are faced with that desire, that moment-to-moment decision to just keep going flat out, to keep going. You know, sometimes we say, I need rest. But many times we don't need rest, we just want to quit. We make it sound like we need rest. We have human body demands that we have to be careful of. But what we find is that the people who achieve great success, massive success, do it all the way, every day. So, the choice is always yours. The choice is ours. Do we close flat out, or do we put off until next month, which should have been done right now? When we look at the spiritual world only operates in the present. Let there be light, and there was light. That means that whatever you call forth from the universe comes forth immediately. And so if you postpone the calling forth, then the manifestation is also postponed. But it's even worse than that. When you postpone the calling forth, you get out of the cycle, the rhythm of success. Once you've created a success rhythm by continuous activity, focused activity on a defined goal, the universe starts working around you to make it happen. And when you back up, the universe moves on. And so that person that you were going to call, lo and behold, somebody else calls him. Just at that moment that the person's making a decision to do something, to change their lives. So, I say this. If you want your dreams to happen, if you want your life to change, if you want the things that you say you want, then you got to close out strong. I mean, flat out. I mean, wide open. That from this day until the end of the month or to the end of the cycle, and think about this, this is just not a monthly thing. It's a daily thing. If at the end of each day, you know, we always go that one more step, make that one more call, make that extra effort, make that extra appointment. We live each day in the same way. We call them day-type compartments. And so if you live each day in a way that you postpone, procrastinate, today we create a failure habit. You know, anything you do for 21 days becomes a habit. And so if you postpone those days, you know, you get to the end of the day and say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Those of us who do not operate from a list, who do not call ourselves to task to get that list done, the things that we must do each day, we may have to adjust it. Sometimes we are far too optimistic when we make our list. It's impossible to do it. But we must find a harmony, a medium where the things I set out to do, I get accomplished. And as I get accomplished, I become stronger, and then I can make my list bigger and get more things done. So if you operate flat out, then you stay in the flow. That which is coming to you is always moving, and you're moving too towards it. If you operate flat out and close out strong, you build your confidence. And you know, confidence makes you magnetic. The world makes way for the person who knows where they're going. And so when you demonstrate that confidence, when you demonstrate that posture, things happen. Vibrations are set up. People come in. Money comes. Whatever you need comes to you because of desire and focused activity. When you close out strong, you put yourself, as they say, you put yourself in the flow of blessings. You've made the sacrifice, and the reward comes to you. So, what's the process? How do we do it? You know, when we're at the end of the month now, this is the perfect time to revisit your why. You know, if your why is to create income that you sorely need, okay? If your why is to create legacy for your family, for your children, if your why is to stop yourself from sinking. I mean, many of us are sinking. We have situations in our business, in our lives, where we're not growing. And trust me, if we're not growing, we're sinking. And so, number one, revisit your why. You know, what's driving you? Write it out. Say it. Think it. Feel it. Get into the feeling of it. You know, anything you can't see, you can't be. Anything you can't feel, you cannot become. And so, to close out this month, revisit your why. Revisit that thing that's driving you. Revisit that which you really want to be, do, and have. That's your why for doing this business. That's your why for living your life. Focus on it. Number two, update your plans. You know, we who have been in the business pretty much know the system for success, and our success or failure only depends on one thing: choice. Choose to do the activity. So update your plans, maximizing the time available. We often call it the 2-minute drill. You know, in football, at the end of the game, you close out strong. You know, one of the things about athletics is you only win when you close out strong. It does not matter how you ran 99% of the race. It's that last piece, that last stretch that makes the difference. When you watch the Olympics, you see people who planned. I was watching one of the ice skaters, and he kind of held back. He had a completely strategic race, and he had the timing of how the people moved in front of him. And when they moved a little hole, he shot between them. They couldn't touch him. And he knew that once he came through with that burst, there was not enough time for them to catch him. And so, analyze your plans. You know, you may need to touch them up a little bit to go into the 2-minute drill. But this closing out strong is when you need to do what you know how to do, with the people you know how to do it with the folks in your pipeline. It's the time to bring it home, to do the follow-up, to answer the questions, to do the closes, to bring people to a decision, and to have enough people in your pipeline. If you're at the end of the month and you're thinking about waiting till next month, that means you don't have any people in your pipeline. I don't think there are any of us that say, here you have a list of 12 people that have seen the video, that have seemed to be positive about the business, and you put off calling them until next month. You and I both know that something happens. It's like we don't have to plant weeds. Weeds come up to destroy your good desires. Well, when you procrastinate, the universe brings in things, distractions, all kinds of things to interrupt the flow to your good desires. So update your plans, keep them simple, so that you can execute over the next few days. Number three, keep the main thing the main thing. You know your business, you know your life. Do only those things that are important to put points on the board. If it doesn't put points on the board, don't do it. At the end of a football game, all they want to do is put points on the board. If they're going to kick a field goal, they're going to run. But that's when people rise to their highest good. The one who can close strong is the one who gets the prize. And then finally, execute, execute, execute. Do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, to get what you want done, to get it done. In these closing days, to close out strong, execute your plans, your daily plans each day, so that at the end of each day, you can say, today, I did everything I could with what I had to do it with to make tomorrow the way I want it to be. Because tomorrow grows out of the seeds of today. If you don't plant the seeds, then there's nothing to grow, and the weeds will steal your dreams. So folks, close out strong, close out long, and you will win. When you close out strong, you can always think about that champion's creed. You know, today, this time it's me in the winner's circle. This time it's me who gets the prize. This time I've really, really made it. This time my dream is realized. All right, folks. That completes our message for today. And let me open the lines.